What's going on, nation? It's DanielJon. I hope you guys are good, and I hope you're okay. And I asked you guys yesterday, I asked you in the pull day video, what video would you like to see me do today? And I got a few good requests to do. I got requested to do a full day of eating video, tips and training video. I got asked to do a video about my role models, who I look up to, who I aspire to be like one day, and a few other good questions. Now, I would have liked to do the full day of eating today, however, it's 12:30 now in the afternoon, and I've been out, I've had breakfast with Leanne, I had to go to the bank, do a few bits and pieces. So I sit down now and I look at the emails and I see that it was a full day of eating video requested. So it wouldn't be a full day of eating, it'd be like lunch, dinner and a few snacks. So I'm going to try and record that this week, so stay tuned for that. But I've got an email on my phone. I always check my emails on my phone anyway, it's a lot easier that way. And this gentleman, who comments quite a lot, and I see him all the time, and he says, I would like to see a video on rep range, what is the best for size? And that is from Alex Monga. Now, I'm not going to tell you a specific rep range because everybody's different, but I am going to tell you, as long as you train hard and eat correctly, I mean in a surplus, then you will gain size. Now I'm going to tell you what I like to do, my personal experience, and then you can take from that, or you can try it, or if not, if you can try it and you don't like it, you can discard it as just useless information. But I'm going to tell you exactly what I like to do. Now, I don't specifically stick to hypertrophy training, and I don't specifically stick to strength training. I like to mix them up. Now, what I mean by that is I go into the gym, say for instance, today's my rest day, so tomorrow will be lower body, it'll be deadlifts and squats, and a few accessory lifts. Now, I go into the gym and I train squats first. So I do 5 sets of squats at a maximum of 5 repetitions. So I get to 5 repetitions, I up the weight, and vice versa until I get to the point where I can only do 3, maybe 2 or 3 repetitions. Then I work with that weight until I can get 5, and then I progress, past that boundary. And the same with deadlifts. I'll get to a point where I can do 5 reps at a weight, and then I up the weight. Unless I'm going for a new PR or a personal best, if you want to call it that, that's when I'll start working the rep range between 2 and 1 repetitions, and that is like my 1 rep max, and that is where I give it all I've got, but they can be dangerous if not performed correctly. So I wouldn't advise you running straight into that. I would advise sticking to the 5x5 programs first for compound movements, and then if you want to go for PRs and personal bests, 1 week every month, then that's when you want to really focus, get the good support done, get a back belt on if you don't want to go raw, and things like that. Now, when it comes to strength training, you're not going to gain a significant amount of muscle mass as if you were when you was hypertrophy training. Now, with strength training, the idea of it is moving the amount of weight with the least amount of repetitions. So, where you're going to go into the gym and you want to squat your maximum amount of weight that week, so you're going to load up the bar, maybe go for 2 reps. Now, that's not going to gain it's not going to gain as much significant amount of mass as, like I just said, a hypertrophy training. Whereas, if you was to go into the gym and use 75% of your 1 rep max and perform that for 10 repetitions, you would get more muscle mass out of that than you would when you were strength training. Strength training is designed for putting as much weight on the bar and lifting it and moving it for 1 repetition, maybe 2 repetitions. Hypertrophy, if you want to gain mass, then you've got to work in the rep range between 5 and 10 repetitions, sometimes beyond 10, but between 5 and 10 is a good example of a repetition range for that. Now, what I do is I go to the gym and I train my compound movements first. So my squat, my deadlift. And then after that, I will evaluate my muscles. I will look in the mirror and I will go, okay, I'm training legs today, so my quads kind of outshadow my hamstrings. So I will do maybe 2 more exercises, maybe 3-4 sets of stiff deadlifts, walking lunges, seated hamstring curls, lying hamstring curls, whatever it may be, but I'll use 2 exercises and I'll perform that maybe 3 to 4 sets each, and I would do 10 repetitions of that weight. Still very heavy, but with a good form because you're more locked off, especially with the machines. With walking lunges, it is advised that you go careful, don't hit your knees on the ground because too much impact on the knees could give you problems down the road, and you don't want that. So that is what I do, as I evaluate myself. I look at it in the mirror, I go, okay, right, my hamstrings are lagging a little bit behind, so I'll work on them for the next 3 or 4 weeks, or vice versa. If my quads are a bit behind, then I might work them to bring them up to par, and then I'll train, you know, for the next 6-7 weeks and see how they go. And then after that, I'll do maybe 5 sets of calf raises, depending on what, you know, apparatus are free at the time. If there's a bench free, then I'll sit on the end, put a dumbbell on me, on my leg, and I'll lift up with a step, or I do a calf raise machine, or I do it in the leg press, or whatever is available at the time. I just do whatever I can. I don't wait around for anything. You know, if there's nothing free, then I'll go in and do something more easy. I'll go to a calf raise machine. If that's taken up, then I'll do something else. You know, it's all about having the tools at your disposal. You've got to learn to use the tools and optimize to get the workout. So that's what I advise to you. That's exactly what I do. I go into the gym, my compound movements 5x5. Then my accessory lifts, such as the lagging muscles, I will train them for maybe 3 or 4 sets, 2 exercises on the end of my workout. So that is what I would advise you to try. You could try this. If you don't like it, discard it, throw it in the bin. Tell me that was some whack advice and do your own thing. But that is my 5 cents. So I hope you guys were good. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!